Hey, beautiful collective. Welcome back to my channel, Joyful Light Oracle. I pray that all is well with you and your loved ones. Thank you for tuning in to my channel. Let's get ready to quiet our minds and tune into the message that Divine Spirit has for us today. You may find that you'll see shadows on the table. It's because my blinds are open. I prefer at this time just to have the natural sunlight come into the space. Hopefully you can appreciate that as well. Okay, Holy Spirit, Divine Guides, I just thank you right now for assisting us to receive the messages that are needed during this time, especially with this full moon energy. May you help us to know what is it we need to know, to uncover and to release anything that may have been causing stagnation, any painful memories that we have already worked through. Help us to clear that out at this time with this full moon energy so that we may move forward into our new beginning. I thank you in advance for the collective. I thank you for their healing. I thank you for their faithfulness towards their journey and towards Divine Spirit. I call upon our guides at this time, our angelic protectors, to surround us and keep us from all harm and danger. Thank you for the elders of the higher realm who are always infusing us with divine wisdom and truth and helping us to know what is the best path to take. I surrender at this time. I allow my vessel to be used as an oracle, a vehicle of light and love that sheds peace and healing to all that tune in with the right spirit. And so it is. Sashay. So I was burning my sage a moment ago. If you are trying to find ways of clearing negative energy, that is something that I have found that has been beneficial for me. But there are various ways that you can do that, okay? So whatever works for you, make sure that you are in alignment with that. Everything that you see others do is not necessarily for you. Whew, that sneeze came out of nowhere. Oh my gosh. It's like right when I push that start button, it's like the belching, the sneezing, just, various things begin to occur, which is interesting. I'm learning how to just move with that energy and not question it too much. Okay. Hold on, guys. Okay, Holy Spirit, Divine Guides, I just thank you at this time for the message for the collective. Some of you may be new on your journey of healing and you're just now coming into your gifts. That's going to look different for everyone. Okay, so again, there's a need not to compare yourself with others, okay? Align yourself with what is your truth, like your authentic truth, whatever that is to you, that is the focus. So basically find your niche, find your river, find your stream, okay? Find your flow, okay? If you have been in a competitive energy, because you are comparing, let's say, things that you don't have with the things you see others have, that is an area that you need to heal within yourself. So it's a sense of not being grateful for your uniqueness, okay? And it's a sense of being envious, which that is a blockage. So if you're battling with envy, jealousy, and even a competitive spirit, that is something that you can focus on during this full moon to clear that out. All right. In order to cultivate a calming presence in your environment, you must first learn how to cultivate that within yourself. So, this message could be for individuals who have been disconnected from their truth. Okay. Let's say maybe you disowned yourself. You may feel isolated. You may look different. You may have chosen a path that is contrary to your, let's say, the norm or the standards of your family or society even. And you may have been faced with some internal conflict, okay, where let's say your heart is pulling you one way, but the reasoning is trying to get you to go in a different way. So there's a need to align your heart and your mind, okay? So there's oneness within. This will help you to be more more decisive when it comes to making decisions, and it'll also eliminate a lot of confusion from your mind and your life, okay? Because your mind typically reflects what you're going to be experiencing. So whatever you put attention towards, that's pretty much what you are telling the day that's how you want to move in the day. So first thing when you wake up, or even before you even wake up, when you go to bed at night, a good practice is to set the tone for the night with those directions, okay, with those desires, with those intentions, so that when you wake up in the morning, you have a clear focus and perhaps less instability in your day. So just know that if you've been going through some type of difficulties, let's say the storm, as you know, some may call it, or the tower moments, where there's sudden change, there's something that's happening that is causing a major disturbance in your life. Know that that's necessary to move you in the direction for your highest good. So you could have been stuck in a place of stagnancy or complacency. And so when things are not working out as it would appear that it's not working out, it's actually working out for your highest good. It's a sense of being able to pull back from the sensories, right? Whatever you're feeling in that moment, those frustrations, those angst, those feels that causes us typically to respond or react rather. It's a sense of detaching from that just momentarily, okay? So you don't get caught up in the storm necessarily, where you can pull back and do some introspection to see what is happening, okay? Where you can assess whether or not the change is for good or whether or not the change is going to impact you negatively. And even if it's a negative occurrence that's happening, something that you are not happy with, it's bringing about an ending, it's bringing about a separation, it's dissolving something. At the end of the day, the end goal or the result is still for your highest good. You may not be able to appreciate it in the moment, but as you continue to walk your path, you will see and begin to realize that it was a way of the creation, divine spirit, those who believe in a higher power may just attribute it to just God's divine intervention, even to get you to where you need to be, okay? So uprooting from something is not always a good experience, especially if you are not ready to let go. Having to surrender something abruptly is more causes more let's say resistance, right, where you want to hold on to it because you weren't prepared, you weren't ready. So this is most likely for those who there's like a sudden change that is coming into your life. It could manifest in the form of an ending of someone's life, so a physical death. It could look like the ending of some type of work commitment or obligations that has been long term. It could be dissolving of multiple relationships, you know, or just very strong connections that you have fostered over the years, whether it be friendships or whether it be family connections. So many of these life events that happens can cause us to be in a state of regret and remorse, and a lot of us can get stuck in that dark place. So the storm, when it does take place, it is intended to, in essence, push you into the darkness, okay? So that you can experience that transformative energy that you need to experience the clearing out in order to come out, right? In order to, one, cultivate the light within yourself, where you can be able to turn on your own flashlight, your own internal compass, right? Your own gauge, in order to see what's going on in the internal space, right? Where are your thoughts? Where is your heart? What are your desires looking like? What is it that you feel secure and comfortable with, right? How are you seeing things? Even your perception, okay, can be challenged at this time in this dark period. A lot of people may term it as the dark night of the soul. Um, it doesn't matter what the label is. The point is, it's uncomfortable. It's intended to be uncomfortable because the purpose is, again, to uproot, to shift or dissolve, to bring about some type of ending so that you can grow, so that you can move into your highest, right? Whatever your highest is, right? Whatever you're supposed to be existing, whatever you're supposed to be evolving into, okay? If you look at the earth, because we are also created in the likeness and the image of the divine, so the earth being a representation of life itself, we are, if you could look at that, earth as well, okay? We are connected spiritually and physically to the earth. And so as the earth changes and goes through those seasons of change, the cycles that we experience in the earth, the same thing happens to us. Unfortunately, many of us become stunned, or we are, it's like refusing to change from one season to the next. And so that is due, just so you know, that is due to either not being fully aware that we have the capability, but it's more so like someone who is I'm stumbling on my words because I don't want to make this sound morbid, but in essence, someone who is dead, like someone who's living, they're walking, they're moving and breathing, but they're spiritually dead. That just means spiritually you are disconnected from your divinity. You're disconnected from your life force to a certain extent. So you're still existing. So your body is functional. However, your spirit is not engaged. Okay, it's a sense of dormancy, or you're sleepwalking. Okay. This is who I'm talking to. Okay, so this is someone who may have been sleepwalking. All of us has been at this place where we need to wake up. Okay, we need to wake up, come back to life. We need to open up our eyes. This is not the physical. This is that internal sight that we have by way of our spirit. Okay, that requires a realignment. So these storms are necessary to shift us back into the natural flow where we can be in alignment with that cycle I was talking about, that the earth naturally goes through those seasonal changes, you know, where you see the plants, they grow, right? And then they spring forth, okay? And then there's a period of things falling away. Then you have the death cycle, which is the winter season, okay? Where there's coldness, okay? There's a going inside. Not a lot of things are growing at that time, okay? There's a sense of restrictiveness, but it's the point of that is for rest. It's a time for rest, for the earth to rejuvenate. It's the same cycle that we ought to be aware of and going through as well. And then here comes the summer, okay? Where is the new beginning? It's a fresh start. It's things are finally opening up again. Things are beginning to grow or become more exciting again. Okay, so if you've been in a place where your life is lackluster, okay, or just not exciting as it once was, it's because probably you have cut yourself off from maybe your creativeness, okay? Maybe there were some experiences that impacted your ability to create or even explore new like new possibilities, like where you don't even want to try anymore, you don't even want to engage anymore. It could be someone could be in a state of depression, to be honest. And that also is a dark period, okay? That's like a heavy cloud that is over you, where it's a sense of you know, you're lacking interest, you're lacking motivation to do things, to engage, to connect with others. And it's because there's a disconnect, okay? There's a disconnect from spirit. Anytime you see death happening, it's something that's happening spiritually first, okay? Before you see the natural, it's already done spiritually. So you have to go back to the source or the origin of the disconnect. All right, guys? Okay. We have Aquarius out and the trine or the sextile, which in astrology, which I don't know much about, excuse me, it's a sense of things working together better with ease, okay, with flow, with less effort, okay, symbiosis, where there is a balance within, there's a balance without. And this also signifies Aquarius as well. This is the light, I want to say light bearer, but water bearer. And Aquarius has been coming out in a lot of my messages of late, and I still haven't fully understood. Well, I mean, I understand, but we'll just see. It's a sense of I'm hearing like giver of life, okay? Something being poured into your vessel, or you being at the capacity to which you're able to pour into other people's vessel, okay? So maybe someone needs to be replenished. Again, we spoke about the rest and rejuvenation period. Maybe someone needs to bring something into balance. I say that because this is number 11, or just if you could read it as a 2, okay? 2 speaks about balance things out, and we do know that when things are balanced, when they are aligned, that they do work better, okay? So it could be Libran air energy as well. Okay, so one thing in the pre-shuffle that I was looking at, okay, the need to be compassionate, right? When we see or when we're experiencing things that are difficult. And we have to learn how to cultivate compassion within ourselves. If we are not compassionate within ourselves, it's difficult to show compassion to other people's circumstances or their plight, okay? So it's a sense of, yes, self-love, okay, and nurture. Again, this is going back to the earth, okay, Mother Gaia. This is a sense of being at peace with self, or being in complete harmony with creation or with the flow of life, okay? I'm looking at the water, which is refreshing. It is replenishing. Water is important, and water, when you think about it, it reflects the spirit, you know, divine spirit, just how water is able to it's boundless, right? It has like the ability to transform, like it takes different shapes pretty much, right? Where you have the solid, you have the gas, you have the liquid, okay? So it's also, yeah, it's a sense of transformation as well, okay? Because when you align with spirit, you are allowing the divine spirit to flow through you, and that definitely will transform stagnant energies that are within. All right. And this is important so that things can work better in your life, okay? Trine, if you think of the number 3, that also could be speaking about, you know, the divinity, like, you know, just connecting all aspects of yourself with spirit and the natural, like everything is in harmony, working together, okay? You could think about collaborative energy, okay? Think about the 3 of Pentacles as well. And again, 3 of Pentacles, if you think about that, that is the earthly matter. So there's things that are coming together in the natural, where it's your life, okay? So this is talking about your life experiences. This is talking about challenges someone has had in their natural world, okay? These storms that are either being inserted or erupting out of nowhere, that's causing someone to feel a bit disruptive. And maybe there are endings that you have experienced during these storms, and there's a need with this alignment that's taking place right now with the full moon to allow those heavier aspects of yourself, or those experiences that were painful, to be released, okay? To be released. So take a lot of deep breaths. A lot of deep breaths at this time. Be patient with yourself and others. Try your best to stay away from conflict as much as possible. Disengage. That's something that I learned very early on my journey. Many of us may try to prove a point and try to argue our position, you know, on a topic or in a conversation, and that sometimes, if you look at it, is very prideful and arrogant even, okay? Because sometimes when we're having conversations, you know, it's a sense of just trying to win the argument. It's not even trying to compromise. It's not even trying to understand another person's perspective. It's my point, my way, and I'm right, okay? And so something I learned in the onset of my spiritual journey, this go around, because I've gone through various transformations over my lifetime so far, is that humility goes a long way. All right, just, it's a sense of surrendering. It's a sense of, okay, a willingness to listen, a willingness to learn, a willingness to understand, or a willingness to see from another person's point of view, and even a willingness to challenge your own viewpoints. I think that's the biggest thing that I learned, challenging my own viewpoints, where instead of pointing the finger, instead of blaming others for my difficulties, instead of looking at the external world, okay, because that's very easy to do, it's a sense of going within and seeing, okay, let's see the patterns that are at play, right? Let's see what has happened. What are the sequence of events that transpired to cause me to be in this state of either fight or flight, or this defensive mode, or this passive energy, right? What happened? And once you're able to take a stand back and detach, disengage for that, even if it's momentarily, right, where you just pause that conversation before you say anything, you fully try to process and understand what you're feeling and what you're thinking. And this, I find, right, it has been helpful for me as far as my response to situations in my present, okay? So disengage from conflict, especially if you're on a healing journey. You don't want to add anything to the fire. You don't want to add any other frustrations to what is in already a frustrating situation or ordeal that you may be going through. Okay. Okay, so we have the strength at the bottom, okay? And this is strength, that's internal strength, okay? This is recognizing that you're stronger than you know, you're stronger than you think. If the strength that you perceive you have, it's more intensified than that, okay? Especially when you align yourself with your authentic truth, okay? You are stronger than you realize, okay? This is your core. This is what is internal, okay? And this could be that you just need some strength in this situation as well. Take it how it resonates, okay? You may need some aid. You may need some help from someone else. I spoke about the nurturing aspect, okay? There is it series? It says nurture clearly, okay? This is reminds me of the Virgo energy, with it, which is also earth, right? And here's the Libran, right, that I was talking about, that I felt with this Aquarius, okay? This is definitely a sense of bringing balance into those turbulent situations, and trust and believe. The first place where balance is needed is internal. That internal atmosphere must be aligned. It must be balanced if you're trying to bring balance to your experiences and to your material world. All right. The sun is coming out, which is a sense of healing. It's a sense of clearing out. If you think about it, when you are in the storm, right, there's darkness, there's a heavier cloud. Like I talked about depression, sometimes there is despair and there's fear, right? Especially if you're losing things that you've come to know as your own. Like it's something very personal, okay? Whether it be relationships in marriage, whether it be family ties or just friendships, things in your community that you are severing or that are falling away for whatever reason. If you remember that, you know, individuals do grow. So when you go through the cycle of change, through the seasonal changes that I just mentioned, there is a start and then there's a beginning. Okay, there's a sense of where there's the newness, the rebirth, the growth, and then there is a sense of shedding. All right, if you think about even the energy of the snake, there is the shedding that is constantly occurring in our lives. The problem is that when it's time to shed, that's where a lot of us get stuck. When it's time for spirit to take something out of our hands, to take something out of our lives, the pruning process, a lot of people don't like this right here. Okay. I say pruning because this is the scythe, right? Which is a form of it's an instrument used in harvesting, you know, crops, right? It's very sharp. Okay, its purpose is to cut away, right? And so pruning is necessary for regrowth. Okay, but if you're looking at it as in form of cutting away relationships, because these bonds are so strong, okay, these connections are so, we've placed so much value on these connections, even if they are toxic, right? It's a sense of connecting to something and someone without truly evaluating the purpose, because people can come into your lives for a time and for a season, right? I read Ecclesiastics this morning, which does speak about just, you know, the time to plant, and then there's a time to pluck up, the time to break down, and the time to build up. And so, again, that's that cycle of change that happens. And the purpose is to transform, it is to renew, and it is to grow. When we get stuck in that death cycle where there's a pruning that's taking place, we may allow these painful experience, like those emotional pangs, to lodge within our emotional body, right? And so that causes stagnation. It's a sense of trauma that has been created either because it was just so sudden, or because we were so codependent on a situation, a person, a relationship, or even an identity. Because it could be that your identity is changing, your ego is collapsing, just whatever you have presented yourself to be in the world, that is looking completely different. And so with that type of change that is so open with the sun here, it's so obvious, it's seen in society, it's how you express yourself, it's how you represent when you show up in any type of situation. Other people are going to automatically be able to witness this. And so that could be scary, right? So a lot of people don't want to go through that particular ending, because you're going to end maybe the relationships by default. Because if you're behaving differently, if you sound different, if you're doing things that just don't jive or align with the status quo, with the image you've presented or that you've created for yourself, then definitely that means the other aspect of yourself, which is the extension, those relationships you've also cultivated through that image, that also is going to shift and change. So, guys, I'm only speaking from experience. And maybe people, when they listen to some of these videos and they see these cards, they must be like, well, what is she talking about? I'm speaking from experience, okay? Things that I have had to go through, that they were heavy, and it's almost like you lose yourself, right? Momentarily. I'm not speaking about sanity per se, but in a sense, yeah, because your whole world that you knew changes. And so that in essence challenges your belief system. It challenges your identity. It challenges just like everything at your core. And you have to learn how to regain balance. Okay, this is something that you have to do internally. If you try to regain your balance when you're having these adjustment periods, these endings, by putting external reinforcements, that means running out and connecting with someone else, running out to get a life force because you feel like you can't survive on your own, that is going to cause more towers in the future. Trust and believe. All right, using other people as a either barricade or a life force, guys, that is only gonna lead to your continual state of depression, state of regrets and remorse, and you stay in this cycle of endings, like this perpetual, you're always experiencing these endings, losing, right? Relationships is because you it's almost like your experiences are trying to show you the relationship that you have within yourself. So if you're losing a lot of relationships back to back to back to back, that should be an indication for you that there's something that you have lost within self. So the relationship that you have with yourself, there's a problem there. That's where the attention needs to be placed. That's where the focus needs to go. All right. Once you heal that interpersonal relationship with self, you are able to deal with others, okay, better. So again, yes, balance is important. Nurturing oneself is important in order to nurture others, and standing in your truth, right? Allowing people to see, allowing yourself to be expressed fully, that's also important. Okay. Well, we were talking about what needs to be cleared out in this full moon energy. So I never know what to expect. Like, I have an idea, but it's like I never know what to expect. And that's the lesson in itself, because we may have certain plans in place, right? But as you live and you learn, you can plan all you want. You can have all of these steps in place, which there's nothing wrong with planning and having goals. Having a focus, that's very important, but at the same time, the need to be adaptable, right? The need to be flexible, the need to surrender when things do shift. Like you weren't expecting something, okay, learn how to pivot, okay? Work with what you got, right? So you were expecting this, you got this, okay, now work with what you have, work with that energy, okay? And it's a sense of showing gratitude for every circumstance that you are presented with, that you're met with, showing appreciation for that situation, and allowing it to teach you. Like, if we are saying, okay, we're connecting spirit to the flow of water or even air, right? And if we are to be like air, if we are to be like water, then we need to allow either the seasonal change to shift us, right? To move us, and we should be able to go with the flow. Okay, we should be able to go with the flow. You're only able to go with the flow when you have learned how to be more resilient within yourself, when you have identified your strengths better, when you've anchored yourself in your truth, when you feel more secure, with self, when you are at that place of stability and security within. That's when you can, take those risks more. That's when you can branch out more. That's when you can explore things that look different, things that are unfamiliar. There's more of a willingness to try something new when you feel safe and secure within yourself. So that could be for someone who maybe you are a bit fearful to step out of the norm, and this ending could be crippling. It could be paralyzing. Maybe you feel crippled, right? There's a sense of feeling paralyzed because something that once anchored you is no longer present. So just know that you have the ability to anchor yourself, okay? You have the ability to anchor yourself, but let's not forget who we are to anchor ourselves in, right? Okay. Because clearly, and this came out, it's almost like delay. Someone was delaying the changes. Okay, so everything is a message. Okay, someone was delaying changing something. Something is definitely changing with Uranus out here, but you may have been delaying this change for whatever reason. Again, it could be because of fear. It could be because, you know, you need resources to help you make this change. Okay, maybe the money is not showing up as you would hope or as you want it to. Second house, okay, that's your relationship with finances, relationship with money. That could be an issue that needs to be balanced out. Okay. Okay, so the blue can signify, okay, so we saw Leo on the bottom of the deck. I don't know if you saw it well. Okay, Leo is still at the bottom of the deck, so thank you. So changing the way that you speak, even, like, that's important. Okay, so I'm thinking more so of like the throat chakra. Okay, blue, it's a sense of healing that area so that you can express yourself fully, right? Leo is a sense of opening up. This is something or someone that is courageous, rather, like someone that doesn't mind being seen. Okay, we have the sun next to Leo. This is a major change that is happening. Like, you're going to see some changes that are happening in either the way that you're speaking, in the way that you sound, and in the way that you're communicating with others, possibly. Okay, that could be something that is being transformed during this full moon cycle for some. Okay, and for others, we got the finances with the Libra, and so that's balancing the resources over here. Okay, in the center, we got this is the internal process where you're healing something from within so that you can work better with others. Okay, when you show up. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, so I think we're done with these. Okay, this is 8, so 4 and 4. Okay, so 4 and 4, that could be a sync for someone. Okay, 4 speaks about your home. It speaks about like a protective energy. Is something that is surrounding the family or security. Okay, something that you need to either protect or focus your intentions more on. When you have 4 and 4, that's like a strong alignment where things are like being more solidified or more structured. Okay, it's the foundation that is going to help stabilize you. So the things that we're talking about today, these are the principles, these are the pillars that are going to help to build that foundation, where, okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. So, message, let's say that you have you've been in this home setting. Okay, when I speak of home, I'm talking about self again. Okay, it all starts with just your internal process. So let's say a tower has come, there's some major changes, it's shifting your view on a lot of different things, and there's instability. Okay, been there, done that. Okay, so this could be someone who is just starting this journey and is experiencing these things. Just know that the cleaning of the slate is necessary before you start erecting different pillars or principles, or before you start building again. Okay, so there's a need to first clean the slate and then wipe it clean. That means a sense of remember I said with this full moon energy, if there's anything that's lodged in your emotional body, any past experiences that have been very painful, there's a need to look at that and clear it out. Okay, if you're trying to build another relationship, or you're trying to reestablish yourself with someone else, or just you're trying to move, it's important for you to see whatever faultiness was at play first. Because if you go to another state, if you go to another county, if you go to another partnership, those faulty pipelines or columns are still there. So it's going to essentially break again. It's going to fold. It may endure for a season, but then that foundation is going to crumble again. So the purpose here, right, with this shifting that is happening is for you to clear that out. Allow the leveling to take place. However painful that may be, allow it to take place because it's going to transform you. It's going to help to cultivate more resilience within, okay? It's going to help strengthen your core when you see truly how strong you are, when you reconnect back to self, okay, and align yourself with divine spirit. You're going to see how truly powerful you are, so that it doesn't matter how many times something has to be cleared out. You know you have the ability to recreate every single time. Because if we're made in the likeness and image of Source, that means we have the ability to always recreate, always recreate. It's a sense of allowing things to flow in and flow out of our lives when it needs to. So these fundamental principles that you're going to be learning now is a sense of making sure that you're stable in those truths. Okay, so the first truth that you need to anchor yourself in is self. Who are you, right? Who are you? What makes you unique? What is the relationship you have with yourself? Once you heal that relationship, then you can start to look at other aspects as far as how do you relate with others? How have you related with others that contributed to those collapse, okay? Once you look at that and you take accountability, all right, there's another aspect of healing. Every time you go through that cycle of healing, right, going into the dark and looking at the dark, shining that light inward, doing that introspection and actually accepting what it is and allowing it to just move through and out of you, that's a sense of solidifying self and strengthening you, okay? So that every time something comes up, whether it be from the past, whether it be from where you're operating now in the present, you are able to transmute those energies, okay? You're able to move through them. And every time you move through those difficult cycles, those difficult periods, you become fortified, okay? You become empowered more and more. You become encouraged. You become strengthened. And you realize, wow, wait a minute. It's like there's more ease. There's more flow. It's natural now. Now there is that symbiosis we talked about earlier in the beginning where things just naturally work better together. When you are in alignment with yourself, you then align yourself better with individuals in your immediate family and in your environment. So your life changes completely. How you sound changes. What you even talk about changes. All right? Starts within. So that's beautiful. Whoever is going through this exploratory change, because you're discovering things that you didn't know was buried within, that's always beautiful. So the moon energy is a sense of shining the light within, looking at those areas, seeing the things that once you didn't know or you weren't aware of, now becoming aware, okay? It's a sense of waking up. It's a sense of the consciousness is now more heightened than the subconscious. So it's changing those patterns, right? Those dormant patterns that you didn't even know was at play, those faulty belief systems, those programs, those things that were inserted from youth or when you came into this experience. It's a sense of, identifying it. It's like, when you are if you could imagine a video system or a video game and there are bugs, right? There are viruses in this system. It's a sense of identifying those bugs, identifying those critters, those viruses, and neutralizing them, removing them, okay? Because they are, in essence, they're replicating, they're duplicating the malfunctioning. They're duplicating something that causes you to function in a way that is other than your true essence. Okay, so it's a peeling back that's happening during this transit. If you can allow that, if you can endure that, right? If you can appreciate the endings that are taking place, if you can allow things to go that needs to go and only allow those things that are still adding purpose and value to your life, that's what you continue to build and work with. Yeah, that's what you continue to build on and work with. So Virgo, I did mention Virgo earlier in terms of the series card, a sense of this is you having to digest some painful truths, right, about yourself, okay? And again, that shadow work people talk about, or the dark night of the soul, it's you recognizing, oh my gosh, I do have an addiction to this. Oh my gosh, I do tend to do this. I do tend to be a bit, prideful. I do tend to align myself in codependent relationships. I do tend to, whatever it is. It's those patterns, those ways of being that you are being shown to look at this time, and actually cut away, like cut away the dependency of those things, the need, right, the need for that, where you feel like you have to latch on to people, places, and things to be sufficient or to survive, when you are your own source, right? Like you can survive just in yourself. I'm not saying being outside of divine source. It means people, like when you put your trust and your hope into things, like the material is what I'm talking about. When you trust in the material more than your trust in the spiritual, that is the conflict, is what I'm talking about. I hope that makes sense, guys. I hope that makes sense. We have discomfort. So this transit. Okay, thank you, Holy Spirit. So wow, this transit may be causing some turbulence in dynamics, so in certain partnerships, okay? All right. And look at the review. Look at the review, right? Retrograde. Look at the need to look back. Look at the need to look at partnerships. Look at why there were discomforts. Look at things that you valued, the things that you put your focus and your attention to, the things that you excuse me, the things that you cultivated, like from your core. That's what's happening with this transit right now. And it takes courage, okay, to be honest, and to really look at what is being shown. And once you see what is being shown, then the next step is to allow for that change to take place. And keep in mind that it's all for your highest good, right? Nothing that is taken away from you is a sense of punishment. It's a sense of, hey, this is not good for you. Like if you think about a child that just loves candy, loves sweets. Okay, the sweets, they bring pleasure and delight. Yes, but moderation. Or it could be that is not the right sweet for you. Maybe you need some peaches, right? That's sweet, but it's healthier. Maybe you need some mangoes in your diet because it's healthier. It'll still feed that desire to have something delightful, but it doesn't have to rot in your teeth. It doesn't have to disrupt your digestive system. It doesn't have to, cause any skin irritations if that's your situation. So it's changing your view about the things that you're losing. Okay, so it's even as your perception may have to change, because you may look at these endings as, you're losing things, but no, it's you're gaining so much more. You're only allowing things to leave that cease to be of value or purpose to your life in this season. Perhaps they had a purpose in the past, so you may have learned through those experiences already, and hopefully you can ascertain the lessons, right, with the Virgo energy. It was out here, but that's a sense of looking at the details of a matter, right? Like analyzing those partnerships, analyzing those patterns that were self-sabotaging, and analyzing those codependent behaviors. So those experiences were necessary, but if you've already learned enough, if you've learned everything you needed to learn, there's no need to stay in darkness. There is no need to stay in death. It was there to teach you something. So you see, listen, without something else, like think about darkness, right? If you don't have light in darkness, it is always going to be dark. So those relationships could have been void of joy. It could have been void of peace. So your darkness could have been just being in a relationship that was full of conflict. So if all you know is conflict, then that's all you're going to reproduce. So that's you staying in darkness. Okay, so the need to clear out the conflict. And by clearing out the conflict, that means you're clearing out the partnerships and the relationships that produced the conflict. Before you could even do that, you have to clear out the conflict that is within first. So there's an internal conflict first with yourself that you have to deal with. Okay, that's the point. Deal with that first, deal with the partner secondly, and then what you see in your reality, that is going to be a different experience that you will have. Okay. Okay. I have tarot out here, but I don't know if I think we're good. I don't think we need to look. I just split and there's the Virgo again. So this self-analysis is very integral at this junction. Take the time now, because right now things are coming to the surface. So you may be wondering, like, why is there so many turbulent interactions that I'm having with people? It's a reason, if that's your reality. If you're losing things, there's a reason you need to look at that at this season right now, okay, that you're in, so that you can understand, so that you can know what's going on within, so that you can allow the change to occur without. All right. Okay. I was saying, I think that is the message. Okay, look at the past. So the past is still influencing some of you, okay? The past connections, the past way of being is still influencing many of you guys, perhaps, because I'm still on this measure. I'm thinking I'm like done, but 33, okay? So I talked about the number 44. Okay, so right, so 44 is a sense of more stability and structure and security. So it could be that you're not even that you're right at that place where you're gonna come into that stability and security. But you first have to look at something from the past. Okay, that's the South Node. Oh, and we just got that confirmation with the, I don't know if you heard the rumbling of that motorcycle in my neighborhood. Okay. Wow, I felt it in my chest and in my belly. So when you think about the chest area, that is your heart space, right? And when you think about the belly, that is the place where you create. It's a sense of your willpower, okay? It's, your guts, right? The courage to do something. So someone could be fearful of looking at the past, or fearful of dealing with something from the past. But with authority coming out, you have to take authority over your life. You can't allow other people, you can't allow situations to rule your experience. You have to be able to be comfortable and be confident to direct your life in a way that's going to be good for you, okay? So you may be used to just taking the advice of others, right? Allowing others to insert their thoughts or their opinions into your dynamic, and that has caused you maybe to be a bit topsy-turvy. You need to take authority over that, because look at the confrontation, right? There's something that you need to confront in terms of possibly your views on authoritative figures or energies in your life, whether it be the father, the mother. Usually it's a father. So I don't know if someone has any father wounds that you need to look at, that you need to take control over. I don't know if you are a father, someone who is in a leadership position even. There's someone having some conflict with that right now. I'm trying my best to be focused. I know there's a lot of movement where I'm at, but I'm trying my best to be focused, and hopefully you guys are still following me. I just saw the 5th house, which is a sense of passion, something that maybe you're passionate about that could be causing some challenges. We already saw the South Node. This is the direction that you're being guided towards, okay? And you could be fighting it. You could be fighting whatever is happening, whatever, something is being challenged right now, okay? Could be the direction that you're going in. Could be you challenging whatever is happening, okay? Someone moving on. I'm just seeing someone with a traveling pack. They're going hiking up the mountain or whatever. But the direction that you're being guided is towards the future, okay? Future partnerships, okay? Okay, so here is your confirmation. Like, this direction is going to be more abundant, okay? This direction that you're headed towards is going to produce more life, more substance with the Jupiter energy. Looking at 31, which is also number 4. 40 over here goes down to 4 in numerology. Again, this is all about your sense of security and balance, okay? Something that you need to nurture, okay, to cause it to work better, okay? Now, let's say this is something about if you're trying to learn something new, higher education, maybe there's been some conflict or challenges in that direction that you've been trying to go in. Could be that you're not aligned with your passions, or you haven't aligned your career with your passion, something like that. You will have more success when you align your desires and your goals with what you are truly, like what you truly enjoy, what you truly love, okay? That's where you're being guided to do things that truly bring you enjoyment. Connect with individuals that are truly gonna feed you and nurture you, okay? Where the experiences are going to be more abundant, like full of life, like liveliness. I spoke about someone who may have been in the 9 of Swords, where a state of depression and despair, not wanting to step out of that codependent energy. Maybe you've experienced some loss, whether it be relationships, whether it be just your community support, whatever. Could be financial as well. There's a sense to change that energy and move out of that stagnancy, okay? There's something you need to nurture. This could be nurturing other relationships as well. Okay, so clearly this is telling me that someone is going through some changes, okay? There's some shifts that's taking place in your reality, okay? And to be honest, the way this person is, like, the imagery of this person representing self, right? It's a sense of that your core, something that's happening directly to you or around you, it's uncomfortable possibly, right? When you see a transit that's happening, you can't control it. It's something that happens just naturally. And you have to learn, or try your best to learn how to accept, or how to be open. Like, this person is closed off, right? Not wanting to maybe experience these changes, not wanting to go through the difficulties. But remember, Uranus is here, so the change is happening regardless if you open to it or not. The change is happening, so the ending is happening, okay? The doors are closing regardless, okay? So yes, we can affirm that is uncomfortable. It's bringing discomfort into your reality, okay? Maybe even confusion, right? Maybe it's disrupting finances as well, okay? If you have financial goals, something you've invested in, that could be changing too, especially if you've built some type of security on an identity that is false, and now it's like, because your identity is shifting to your authentic self, now everything you've built around that falsehood is shady, or it's being shaped differently. That can be uncomfortable. That can be very frustrating. If you notice, 14 is here. That goes to 5 in numerology. We have 555 out here, which is definitely saying yes, change, and more change. So multiple things, or multiple areas, multiple levels. Like, you're gonna go through change after change. Look at these different pathways of these stairways. Okay, look how many stairways are here. And look how many levels of the cycling energies here. So remember, I talked about the seasonal changes. So season after season after season, with every leveling up, with every transformative change, with every season, there's going to be something new that you're going to be faced with, that you will have to work through. You will have to either accept, allow, and cause that heavier aspect, if you're losing something in that change, to transmute, okay? This could be someone that's feeling a lot of the feels right now. The emotions could be very heightened right now that you need to bring balance to, okay? Piscean energy, something could be very prominent as far as the emotions right now. It could be heightened, could be very sensitive, especially with the full moon energy. So be mindful how you respond to others. Be mindful how you respond to yourself. Remember I said there's a need to kind of pull back, like detach a little bit, just so you can assess things accurately, okay? Accurately from a healed space, okay, or from a new perspective before you react, before you respond, or before you make a decision, okay? I say to myself that around the full moon is a perfect time for me to use the Star Codes Astro Oracle deck. And my gosh, it's hitting today. I hope you're able to appreciate the messages today, because this is a very soulful message. It's very full. It's full of life. It's full of like the resources. This is like valuable information that is beneficial for your growth and progress, okay? It's necessary, okay, for to help you or to equip you or support you in the changes that you're experiencing now. If you find that this is actually hitting home, go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate that. And don't forget to hit that like button. And yeah, if you know someone who could benefit, share the video. That'll be awesome. That will be awesome. We'll look at that. Progression is here. So this is someone who may have not started the journey or is just beginning your journey of progression, okay? Just know, like I said, with this over here, the debilitating and transit, this is saying there's going to be multiple factors to impact your progression, okay, on the journey that you're on or that you will be embarking on. There's going to be multiple things that's going to come into your experience. It's not to cause like intentional harm. It's to help you to detach. It's to help you to allow your spirit to move through the energies versus just so mind based, where all your motivation is so geared on the reasoning that you fail to see the spiritual component or the spiritual aspect of what's happening in your existence. There's a need to come out of that subconscious places just for as the behavioral patterns that you're used to, and understand why do you do the things that you do. That's what this is about. Why do you do the things that you do, and are they helpful? If they're helpful, cool, but if they're not, then something somewhere, some shape or fashion must change, and divine spirit will assist us. If we are unwilling to shift voluntarily, if we are willing to rise up to that channel that, well, yeah, if we are unwilling to rise to that challenge is what I'm saying, but rising up to that channel is the same thing, because you need to be able to open up to receive those messages, right? The divine guidance that you need to help you move in wisdom, to move in truth. So yeah, rise to the channels that it's the higher frequencies. It's that area within your conscious awareness that you could connect with the wisdom, right? Whether it be the ancestral wisdom that you already have dormant in your DNA that is being activated at this time. Ooh, nugget for someone. Or if it's just simply being aware, right? Simply knowing and being able to now sit still and meditate more, or just learning how to ground yourself and connect to the spirit of the earth more. It's a sense of oneness that you need to come back to in order to continue to progress and be successful and experience more beauty in your life, okay? More peace and more joy, more healing, okay? I love you, Father. I'm so grateful for this message today. You are bringing joy to my heart. I thank you for the back to back to back to back confirmation. And so for those that are new on their healing journey, just know that if you ask for assistance, if you call upon your angels, divine spirit will bring in confirmations for you when you ask, okay? So that you will be strengthened in the direction that you're going, or that you're being guided to go in. You may be seeing 333. That could be a sing. You could be seeing 444 or 555. It's a sense of you need to focus on your home. You need to focus on your internal. You need to focus on protecting your energy better. You need to maybe watch how you're spending at this time. You may need to look at the partnerships, the people that you're given to or that you're working with, okay? But here is expansion to confirm, heading towards the north, right? This is expansion. This is a fire element. So that is Sagittarius, clearly, and that is Leo. We already saw a Leo. And then what's the other one, guys? Aries. Okay. That could be in your chart. But know that we have all of these placements in our chart. Some are just more prominent than others, okay? So it's a sense of expansion. It's a sense of moving outside of oneself, moving outside of the normalcy, moving outside of those old ways of being and existing, and exploring something different, exploring something new, allowing spirit to bring in this new energy into your, it's like allowing illumination, right? The sun is already out here, so letting light shine. Like, open up the windows. If your windows are dark, dark with a heavy shade, maybe pull them back for a season. Open up the blinds, open up the window itself, let some fresh air in, go outside. It's connect with your divinity, okay, guys? Connect with the community that is presenting to you at this time. Okay, whether it be like on platforms like this. So ask Divine Spirit to lead you towards the platform that you're supposed to connect to, because everything is not for everyone, and everyone's journey is at different like placements. So where I'm at may not be where you're at, and where I'm at may not be where someone else, you know, in the future is at. So there's someone that is ahead of me, there's someone that may be behind me, but at the same time, we're all walking together. Okay, there is some type of linear movement, like we're all moving, and maybe not linear is the best way, but some sense of elevation. Okay, but the point is, we are all moving towards a specific direction. Okay, but the stages where we're at in that transit, or in that progression, they're different. We're at different placements. So if you think about the planetary alignments, like, they're all moving, but the placements are different. That's us as if we look at ourselves as the earth or as the universe, that's us as well. That's our world individually with another person's world. So you get what I'm saying, guys? Everyone is cycling through their seasons, right? And they're at different points of journey, right? Different stages in their journey, rather. And we can all learn and benefit from one another's journeys, okay? So connect with the community that is going to equip you, that is going to support you on your journey. That's the point. That's the point. Someone is being called to take action. There's some assertive action that you need to take, okay? Either within your community. Yeah, something that you've probably been thinking about, something you have been deliberating on, okay? Whatever you've been thinking about, whatever you've been deliberating on, okay? There's a sense where you need to now take the action. There's movement that is needed at this time, okay? Especially we saw Leo, we saw the sun, and we see expansion here, Sagittarius. So it's moving outside of this opposition. Whatever this force is that's confronting you right now, you need to move through it. You need to move through it. Move through it, move away from it, whatever you need to do. Don't allow it to cause you to be stuck or stagnant in a place where you need to let go of or release. Okay? All right, guys. I believe that's the message. I don't think because I have tarot here, but I don't think we're doing tarot at this point. Maybe later on today I'll come on and bring another video out, but that's the message. The morning message, the daily message, however the collective message. Let me know again if it resonates. And thank you again for all the new subscribers. I appreciate you. I send you love. And until next time, have a beautiful day. Bye.